Syria back after, 5 to 10 million people, depending on what number you believe, have left the country. It's been ravaged. So the nice Russians are helping the Syrians out to do that. And also, too, James, one of the sad things is there have been stories, I think we had one about 8 or 10 months ago, about how Israel, because of the way the United States is treating them, they're looking either, like you mentioned, China or Russia as the superpower that would have their back. In the Old Testament, God used to say, you don't go after the arm of flesh, you trust me, right? Well, Israel's nowhere there now in any way, shape, or form. But isn't it interesting, looking for a superpower, because they're a small country, to help them. And it seems the winner of this category is Russia. And the more they get close to Russia, the easier it'll be for Russia to attack. Because remember, they're caught, according to Ezekiel 38:8, totally unaware. They don't expect this to happen because Russia's their friend. But we see the stage being set for all of this.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And what's funny is, with the stage being set, it not only sort of solidifies what we know the Bible tells us is going to happen in Ezekiel, but it also solidifies another mechanism that's been deployed that a lot of people don't necessarily think about. And it isn't just as simple as it being relegated to geopolitics. It relates to what could potentially be the future of the maneuvering of the final Antichrist when he comes in and he does exactly what he does. Because if you think about it, when this incursionary mechanism gets deployed and these nations come and attack and God himself shows himself to be strong, it opens up the door for the introduction for this fake Messiah, right? You're going to have this, it's going to create a need for a peace treaty to be strengthened. It's going to create the need to have a peacemaker coming in, recognizing that the aftermath of all of this is nothing but destruction. And as you said, in the name of nation rebuilding and all the other things, you're going to have somebody who is wise, who has a lot of wisdom. And who knows, the temple still may not have been built at that point, and this could be one of the major deals that gets brokered that makes everybody happy. There's already a movement going on in Saudi Arabia right now that says that Al-Aqsa is not as significant as everybody says it is. The Temple Mount isn't really considered a holy site like everybody thinks it should be considered. They're looking at Mecca, and there's a lot of statements being made in Arabic right now that are dramatically minimizing the importance of the Temple Mount site. That could signal that in pop culture, there is a movement that will eventually make it something that enters into the geopolitical world, where they are going to accept the rebuilding of a temple, especially in the name of peace. Is the idea here. So if you end up getting yourself to the point where you find all of this happening all at once, it could be the very floodgate that opens, that creates all of the other things to happen, that's going to make this Antichrist really look like the real deal. I mean, think about it. The Jews are not going to be thinking clearly enough to say, well, he's not a Jew. How can he be our Messiah? They're not going to be thinking about that. They're going to look at this guy from Europe, from the revived Roman Empire. They're going to say things like, well, he might not be a Jew, physiologically speaking, but man, he is one at heart.